in regards to they have to show us, right? I think part of what's going on there is they have to show us. Like I've stated before, the all is still the all. So everything is tied in with everything. You are tied in with everything. Like Vat City said in one of his recent videos. I haven't been watching him for like a year. I watched like 2 of his videos recently. Anyways, he's like, they can't really hide anything. If you want to know, I mean, because it's tied in with everything. You are everything. But you'd say that there has been force or forces of like illusion, right? Was listening to DNA Awakening, and this kind of spurred this, but I mean, I see it everywhere. You'll get like nice chunks, of what's going on that is accurate, whatever. But you get different types of nice chunks from different sources, but it doesn't mean that that source will always give that nice chunk, like that type of nice chunk. And sometimes they'll just give pure BS, and sometimes they'll give like right in line. It's just, you have to have an ear for yourself. It has been this illusionary force has been leaving as we or me realize it from within. So like everything outside of you is you, but it's a not just like a which is supposed to be natural, like a distortion, not, what I mean, like a warping to create different stuff here. But there has been like an illusionary force too to keep you from seeing even the blatantly obvious. So like there's you, that's like where you can only experience what's inside you, and that includes orgasms, people. That includes knowledge, wisdom. You can only experience within you. Ultimately, you come back to yourself. But put simply, everything outside of yourself is an illusion. It's you warped like the way it's supposed to be, but it's also been, there was an illusionary force or forces outside of there, and it wound up creeping in within you too, because you were raised in it. And then even when you've started kind of figuring shit out, you're crazy, whatever, it's been reinforced. It's been a huge battle, but you do conquer everything from within you. Change must come from within you. So they had to show us, no, that's just the way something is. It's the way things are. Everything's connected. You're connected to everything. You are the all. There's something else I wanted to, I forget what it is for right now, but Matt's recent video, man, he said, it's about death or whatever, or this reality. He said comment sparingly, but I comment like 10 times. I'll put some of the comments in the description box and then maybe in the comment section. But it gets me going, because alright, whether he knows it or not, or he could just be a computer generated character, Matt is the continuation of the priest. Those are like almost on the flip side, which I believe, I feel like I'm really starting to just arrive on the flip side, like I'm just reborn on it, and now it's time to get the momentum, get the first movement. Like this is the baby steps of the first movement, self-propelling wheel. Anyways, Matt, amongst other things, I think I might have already graduated from Matt, because man, it had helped me see certain things, and so did say before Matt, Quasi Luminous. A lot of the things that quasi-luminous, Satan in the flesh, the plumber, actually supposedly lives 2 cities down, but tried to meet up with him. He never met up. Uh, he no he pointed out some really good shit, but he's a great example. He pointed out some really great shit. I did try out the blood over intent. I was already like waking up before that, but it didn't seem to do anything for me, so I took down the videos. It just quasi limits for another example helped out get things forward, but then wants you boom back in a dogma setting. Basically like as a follower. Matt too is like that because it's like helps you break free or whatever, but it's like fundamentally still death worship. The priests and Nietzsche saw it. A few others like Dr. Christopher S. Hyatt saw it at least to some sort of extent. Um, Dr. Christopher S. Hyatt, the publisher of this non-book, I've shared this before. Undoing Yourself, great shit, amongst other books. But it's still death worship. It's just me and it's like so few other people have considered. So like us truthers, us conspiracy theorists, which I'm no longer labeling myself that, and I'm never really putting labels on myself, but I think of myself more of not as a truther, but as a creator now. I shared a few videos back, like the God of Truth had killed all the other gods with the concept of truth, and then his weapon of truth, he killed himself with it, and now it's just like it's like a whole new beginning. So I'm looking to create, and one of the things with that is to do that, because nature loves differentiation. It loves spontaneous. It's especially now that everything's been simplified, nulled, erased, and it is erasing. Like look at the systems. Like everything Nietzsche saw us 150 years ago. He said everything is falling, and we should push it. It's all being erased, but the energy, the raw core energy, is still there. And at least for me, I'm feeling like now it's finally got over the other side, and now it's time to create. And to create, one of the main things is you have to get away from the dogma, the death worshipping dogma, which is Matt. I mean, I think he's like kind of altering a little bit because I've been like, maybe you read some of my comments, but it's just freaking death worship. And I get it because it's like, even like looking at everything now, it's like, all right, there's things definitely going on. Reality's changing, okay, but still, it's still ingrained in you. Remember, I said that it's like the illusion kind of went in here too, right? But if you're gonna find the truth, it'll resonate within you because the truth is within you more than it is out there. So I know I'm all over the place, but just let my brain fly with it. So I know it's may not look like that, but and for thousands of years that was just like impossible. But to bring everlasting life here, eternity is right now. Right now. If you're gonna have the everlasting life, heaven on earth, right? You do it now. I think it's very possible. I had this thought the other week or last week or whatever, that perhaps everyone up to this point has failed life. Um, Being old and decrepit, we're taught like that's associated with wisdom and knowledge. But what happens if it's the opposite? If you're old and decrepit looking when you're 80, 90, or whatever, that's a sign that you have no knowledge, you have no wisdom. Because you can actually, with the right view, the right frame of mind that can align all the other chakras, because you then are the king, right? uh, your Christ, your God was sacrificed in your skull. When you reclaim that, you can live forever. You can become younger. I mean, everyone else disagree with me. It's fine. That's pretty much what I've experienced so far. But like, I know that's true. I know that's true. And that's one of the reasons why all the dogmas, whether it be the religions or Matt or quasi-luminous, it's to fall in line. Like to bow your head and close your eyes. And it's associated with death. Quasi-luminous too, and fucking, what's his old associate's name? Devin Matty. Which, if you really look into both of them, they're both of Hebrew descent. You can kind of tell by looking at them. But, that surgery that Quasi had, that accident, the huge scar, that's interesting, man. When I saw that scar, the early videos, I'm like, what if they planted like something in him, But to create is to get past the dogma, the death worshipping dogma, which promotes submission. And I understand it's like, oh well, hands up, oh, it's all in God's hands, right? Or you can't live forever, or look at, like it's an easy cop out. And hopefully I'll convince someone else of this, that it's been considered by everyone for at least 2,000 years as holy and righteous to look forward to death, to not be here anymore. It's like, no wonder why everything's so shitty. And have we not learned, those of us that seeked, that disciples of truth at least some point, we're not seeing that like the belief systems have proven themselves to be misleading. I mean, even if you didn't like seek obsessively like we did, you could be a normie, go to one of the belief system headquarters, Catholic Church, and ask them about the Protestants or the Islam or whatever. Each belief system structure, which there's over 2,000 in Christianity, they'll all tell you about the other people. What they're saying is a bunch of lies, right? So they tell them themselves. And what's one of the fundamental things about that? It's death. Is to not honor being in the body that you're given. Don't take this place seriously. And if you still have that viewpoint, I'm just going to challenge you that you're still part of the problem. You are, because it's like, especially if you like think it's righteous and holy to the body. No. See, everything has to relate back to the simple. No matter how encrypted it is, everything is based in the simple. Perhaps the main problem with this reality is that you have been believing there's a problem with this reality, right? Yeah, I'm guilty of this too. It's like, oh, we create problems when they're not really there. And what's fundamentally wrong with this reality is the belief that there's something fundamentally wrong with it. And like one step towards like a longer life, at least, is to no longer view your body as something that is decrepit and dying. Like, oh, when I'm at 85, I better, to fit in. How much stuff do we do to fit in? We have done crazy shit to fit in. So what happens if this like whole death, this whole aging thing, is just another version? I see at the fundamental base. I know I'm beating a dead horse, but like, the thing that was wrong is that there's something wrong here, and you need to like not be here. Can't you see, like, out of not just the belief systems and the dogma, but like so many other ways of life is like to get you to not invest yourself here right now. To like, what happens if there is more of you? Like, well, actually, Matt did point out, like what his spiritual guy said, to convince more of your higher self to come through here, or I say your deeper self. You know, I've said this in my recent videos, like, politeness and manners equals a mask. You know, when you replace your inner dialogue with like a politeness thing or a manner, and your own energy is being stopped, conflicted with this system, you are denying yourself to fill in that position, and therefore fill in your life. You are denying your own life. You're denying yourself to be here. That's what I said in my last video. Is life possible on planet Earth? And it's like, look through all the dogmas and the belief systems, and oh, are you conceited or being prideful of your life? You know, just go, uh, follow whatever God says or whatever science says, right? Or whatever the government says, or you know, these Hollywood stars told me what is cool. You know, it's so many things. Is the fundamental thing is for you not to be invested here. Why? I think Nietzsche has a point, like how the slave revolt did happen, and there's some that are just probably naturally, like they're just born, they're already dead, and there is a hierarchy. So say the weaker, they're already kind of dead people, like zombies, right? Um, they despise the higher ones, those that have naturally like more life in them. And I don't know about you, but I've seen like they do. Some of them really do disguise themselves pretty well. But the sickest of people, and the people that like, if they can get away with it, they smirk. Like Danny said in his recent video, the parent with the mask and the little smirk. I know that smirk. Fucking grew up with that shit. Not on me, but like, you know, took me a while to figure it out. But like they just, maybe they only feel something if they can get, say, especially higher being, to suffer. It's smirk, you know, and it's just like the smirk alone just drives you fucking nuts, because it's like, it's something like, why are they like that, you know? But perhaps this is where I'm getting at this promotion, since you were born here, and pretty much every aspect of life, for you not to be invested, to not claim your own life here, to not claim everlasting life here. I think it's totally possible. It was brought out by the slaves, the weaker type, which Nietzsche points out. That's what Christianity, and now continue on with, like, say things like woke tard and the whole pandemic thing. Same thing driving it. And it's the weak who despise life and wanted everyone to despise it. And if you're my type, you need to realize that that's BS. Claim this life. Let's make this place a place of healing and adventure. And also, I'll remind you, keep in mind, it's going to be not like the concepts of what they told us is good. It's not that. It's a lot of ways the opposite of that. And there will be things like war and shit. The weaker type will be around. I don't know if they'll still be human. We'll see what we all are, say, in 1,000 years from now. But that's just the natural order of things. So, some way, shape, or form, there'll be violence and there will be war. And I try to go about the route of non-violence and looking out for everyone else. And man, I learn, but it takes me a while to learn. I think Forever Consciousness was talking about that recently. No, it's Danny. Yeah, I'm similar. Like, I'm hard-headed, but I do learn. And these concepts of like looking out and love for other people and care for your fellow man, it's just bullshit. It's just that was just one of the twisted lies with a little smirk to see you suffer a little, just at least double more when you think about it. Given bad tools, but then like with a lie that's twisted that's actually good, I mean, it's just like salt in the wound. But It's not like, I guess way a good example to simplify it is the comic book Superman. I'm gonna end this video right after this. Comic book Superman was actually inspired by Friedrich Nietzsche's Übermensch. But look into this. There's two Jewish brothers. Surprise, surprise. With the printing, publishing company. Surprise, surprise. That got the concept of the Übermensch and made it into the Superman, which is extremely moral and all that stuff. And I don't know if I pointed this out in my other videos, but a Superman, the Übermensch, the meaning of the earth, the new species to come, would not be able to do super powerful things, and like take away like metaphysical superpowers, all that stuff. Say that this is just physical, which is not. Um, Even if things were like that set solid, the Superman could still exist in that aspect too, easily. But be able to do, like Napoleon, be able to do things that other people wouldn't dare because of these tribal rules, which, like, a lot of them are just fucking nuts. They're just, I gotta pay taxes. Why? Because Spider-Man exists on paper is gonna get you? It's the same thing with government. It's like, wake up. You know? Fucking grown-ups playing very dangerous make-believes. So, to ascend, to become super beings, the new species, instead of just forfeiting your life and your body, and just by tapping out, just, oh, they this, they that, oh, the body, I'm not supposed to be in this body. Oh, this is just a train stop. That's cowardly, cowardly talk. So if you're not a coward, then to get to the next step, what I'm saying is, like, you have to get rid of these morals and all that stuff. And we have justification, actually. I mean, remember those people telling you, put on your mask, and they felt like morally superior as they're doing that? That's morals. And that's them. And it's like, whenever the first chance they get, would they show you the courtesy that you've been showing them? No. So the Superman would actually, the true Superman would actually be behaving like very, very, like almost the exact opposite of the Superman in the comic books.